Now, why don't we get into our next chapter, girly? Teen Mom next chapter, girly, I should say. Jade CLINE. Did you guys see Jade CLINE talking about what she's been dealing with? One thing about Jade, the last time we spoke about her, she was talking about how she and her husband, Sean, and it still feels crazy to say her husband, Sean, right? Like, oh my God, she married that guy. They have brought on twins for some kind of like an exchange program, and they're going to be hosting them. That's the last time we spoke about her here. But now she's got this update, and it's a very painful update. I don't know if any of you guys have ever dealt with this before, but she has something called mastitis. And this is typically something that women can suffer from when they're breastfeeding. But now I'm learning for the first time that this can happen without even that, right? So she filmed a video on TikTok saying that she wanted to raise awareness because she wasn't aware of any of this or any of the possibilities. Quote, I've heard of people having like boob problems when they've had a baby. I have not heard of just someone randomly getting an infection in their boob. So take a listen, watch it for yourself. If you're enjoying the episode today, don't forget to hit that like. And then we're going to talk more about it on the flip side. And maybe this could help somebody. If any of you guys are having any of these symptoms, this could be very important to know.
I honestly never thought I would be making this video, but I really wanted to raise awareness because I wasn't aware of any of this or any of these possibilities. So let's get into it. On Friday of last week, I woke up and my boob kind of hurt, but I thought maybe I'd wore a shirt or a bra or something that, you know, can like, even girls and guys like can like rub your nipple kind of raw, make it like a little tender. So that's what I thought it was. When I was in church Sunday, all I could remember like towards the end of service was how bad my boob hurt. And the pain didn't go away. It progressively got worse. I could tell it was swollen, it was hurting. And before you ask, no, I don't have breast implants, because on Snapchat people are like, do you have breast implants? No, I do not. So anyways, that weekend, obviously my doctor is not open. So I do one of those telehealth appointments like online. So I tell him what's going on, swelling, redness, hurts, hot. It's been going on like this for days and I'm feeling physically ill. So he's like, oh, it must be some type of infection. And I'm like, in my boob? Like, I don't understand that. And he was like, yeah, like ducts, pores, they can get infected. Even like milk ducts or something like that. Like, even if you haven't had a baby recently, like you still have all these things going on and it can get infected. And I'm like, huh, that is so bizarre. I've never even heard that. So he prescribes me antibiotic. I start taking them, okay, a couple days, start feeling just a little bit better. And then I think it was yesterday, I felt 10 times worse. I had a raging fever, the pain radiating from my chest. I couldn't sleep. I'm like, when I say miserable and the sickest I have ever been, like pure hell. So I go to my regular doctor this morning. She does an examination test. And at this point, I've been pushing through life. But when I tell you, in the worst hell, I looked horrible. My skin, I still feel like I look like trash, but that's besides the point. And my doctor tells me that, yeah, it's a severe infection, but she was like, the medicine that doctor gave you is not strong enough to deal with this type of infection, and you're borderline like septic. So she gives me basically what she said is like the strongest antibiotic, and she was like, look for all these signs. So I have to pay attention to all these signs in case I start basically going septic from an infection in my boob that she doesn't know. Like, she was like, there's nothing you could have done or prevented it. It's just like a weird thing that can happen. So basically I have to watch out for all the signs of being septic, which is, terrifying. And basically by tomorrow, she was like, if you are not better by end of day tomorrow, you need to check yourself in to the emergency room and you're going to have to undergo surgery. And I'm like, what? And I did not realize how serious this whole situation is, because I've heard of people having like boob problems when they've had a baby. I've heard of that. I have not heard of just someone randomly getting infection in their boob. I've never heard of anything like that. So I have a really high pain tolerance, okay? High pain tolerance. So, I mean, I was functioning. She couldn't believe I was like going to work. I was still up doing everything like normal with this horrible infection that was making my body just sick. So I'm just bringing awareness to this because the first few days, I really was just blowing it off and was like, not a big deal. And it is such a huge deal. And I'm just praying, I don't have to undergo any like emergency surgeries. I'm praying, I don't have to worry about being septic or getting septic. The whole situation is just bizarre, but I figured I'm going to make this video because it's like that weird of a situation where it's just like raise awareness. And I honestly didn't think it was a huge deal. And it is. And yeah, so we're going to give it to God and we're going to pray on it. But that's how my last week of my life has been.
Yes, that sounds like pure hell. I really cannot believe that she has been dealing with that behind the scenes. I remember, Gwen, I hope you're okay, boo. You might need to lie down. I remember Chelsea Huska. Do you guys remember her opening up about dealing with this when she had either Watson or Lane? She said it was hell on earth, right? Like when she was nursing. So now to hear that this could even happen to you without like nursing being like a factor or whatever, oh, Lord have mercy. And you guys are right that it is kind of crazy that she went and saw a telehealth doctor over this instead of actually going and checking herself in and taking it a lot more seriously, right? Very, very sad, scary stuff, especially when she spoke about like going septic and everything. Like that is a very, very, very serious thing, right? Like it's only a matter of time before your internal organs start shutting down and attacking each other when you go septic. So wow, right? Gwen says, poor Jade. High pain tolerance is a double-edged sword. Twice I've had ER doctors ask me how I walked in there. Isn't it right? Because they're always asking you on a scale of 1 to 10, scale of 1 to 10. Well, your 1 to 10 is different from somebody else's 1 to 10, right? And so does it mean that your thing should be taken less seriously just because your tolerance or threshold is higher? I don't know, right? Like, yeah. My goodness gracious. Let me take a look at what some of you guys had to say about this, okay? Laura says, I've never breastfed with 3 kids and have dealt with it more than once. Ow! I cannot imagine dealing with this one time, let alone 3, Ouch. Ramster says, I've had that boob infection when I was 11. I just grew a boob overnight. Doctors were baffled how this happened at 11. That is so intense. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Even at 11 years old dealing with this. Oh my God. Jasmine says mastitis is a clogged and infected duct. It can happen from saliva, which makes me think it probably happened during adult time. Those are the risks. Damn, I really associated this with breastfeeding. And I think it's because the only time I ever really heard about this was when Chelsea was talking about it, right? Dealing with it while she was breastfeeding. That's the first and only time I heard about it. So like now finding out that this can happen like from, getting down, like other like things like, damn, I had no clue. Stay woke, y'all. Stay woke. That sounds absolutely brutal. Tyrell had left some comments here about Jade that I wanted to get to. She says that Jade has always been too strong, doing it all on her own, basically just doing what has to be done. And I agree. That's the thing about Jade, right? I imagine that she was still the one doing all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the bringing the home money while Sean sits around and she's like struggling, handling things with their daughter and everything, on one, like running on empty while Sean is just playing video games and jerking off into condoms and putting those condoms into the kitchen trash. Y'all remember that storyline? Like that guy was insane. Still is. Winnie the Cat says it's very dangerous because the infection can spread to the heart. Anything physical like that should never be done via telehealth. Oh my God, the idea of that just spreading. That is insane. The high fever. Oh, it sounds brutal, brutal, brutal. I'm so happy that she survived this and that she is sharing her experience as well. Because again, so many of us, or maybe I'll just talk about myself, maybe y'all knew, but like so many people don't know that this can happen just like, I'm getting down, getting freaky, or just randomly, right? Like, that sounds really, really brutal. Like, take it seriously, that kind of pain. Get yourself to a doctor in person as soon as possible. Jasmine says, I also had it twice when I was nursing my honey. It's so painful. Fever of 103 for 3 days. My breast was huge and red and rock hard. Ow! It was horrible. Listen, y'all, I don't want to give myself forehead wrinkles, but oh, that sounds brutal. Oh, God. Oh, all of this sounds so damn painful. I cannot even imagine dealing with this for multiple days too, Lord. Can men get this? If this is something that you don't have to be pregnant, don't have to be breastfeeding, can men get this as well? Or is it something that just impacts women? Ashley says, does anyone know when the new season of Teen Mom premieres? Listen, we're not even sure that they're filming for it. All the stars so far have been hinting that like nothing's really happening, or that Janelle on her Twitch stream, same thing. She says none of the girls have said anything about filming. Mind you, maybe she's not even going to be asked to be on it because she's been kicked off many times. However, she is friends with Brianna DeJesus. So if Brianna were filming, she would know. Right? Brianna has brought her in for a storyline a couple of times in that last season. She just says, I put schoolwork and physical therapy aside every day to watch Grace. I take nothing seriously in life. Jaleesa, you got to study, boo. You got to see your physical therapist. You guys crack me up sometimes with your comments. Oh my God, y'all kill me. Lord have mercy. I hope your recovery is going well, by the way, boo. Misha, nice to see you, my Ottawa girl. Late again, please don't suspend me. Don't worry, you're good here. You're good here. Oh, Lord. I also saw somebody leave a comment about how athletic women can deal with this too, like from like sweat. Oh my God. So I guess you really have to scrub down those nipples after a workout. Oh my God. Like it's so crazy. So many things you don't even think about, like, happening to you can happen. Like, it's crazy, right? And apparently men can get it. Okay, good. Not good, like, but like, damn, like I'm tired of things impacting women, it's like, I want to know if this pain can be shared, because it feels like all the pain falls on women always. Hamlet says, I went to labor at 26 weeks and had no clue. Really? I only found out because I thought I was about to pass a kidney stone due to blood in my urine. They put me in a monitor and saw the contractions. I hear stories like this of, women who didn't know that they were pregnant. And then when they're like or even some who did know, right? And they didn't know that they were going into labor because they've had period cramps that are so intense, like their whole lives, right? That like this kind of felt like that too, right? Wow, that's crazy. I hope everything went well for you and the baby, Hamlet. 26 weeks sounds very early, so I hope everything went well. Lim says, my brother had septic and it went to his heart. Oh, and he ended up with open heart surgery and lost his spleen. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, Lord, this sounds so brutally painful. Ouch. Honestly, wow. Even things like that a lot of people get, like even young, like strep. I have always been so prone to strep throat, you guys. But like, you always have to get these things treated like as soon as possible. A lot of people think, oh, it's just a sore throat, whatever, it'll go away. But the longer you put it off, the higher the risk that you can go into septic shock and stuff like that. And that is absolutely brutal, so you really, really have to take care of things. A lot of people, they're like, oh, it's just a fever, I just take some this and that. No, like go see your doctor as soon as possible. Bayday says, how the F could they qualify to house twins real quick? Listen, we're all curious about that too. Clearly the organization did not do their due diligence, because one singular episode of Teen Mom Next Chapter or Teen Mom 3 or whatever, you're pregnant, and you would know not to put any children into that house, because that is absolutely insane. They can barely handle their one daughter and they speak to her very poorly. They're so impatient with her. Their life is chaotic. They've got like a crackhead with like, who's picking out her eye at the dinner table, screaming and cursing in front of everybody and the children, with her big gulp. And how I miss that big gulp. Somebody here has been telling me for a while that they want to send me a big gulp cup. And I want to proudly display it here. I might, listen, if you send me a big gulp cup, whoever my cutie is who wants to send me that, I feel like I know who it is. Since I say like picture you guys, is it you, Gwen? I picture people by like profile photos, but the profile photo might have been changed. I'm going to replace this vase, or maybe this one, with a big, no, I need more space. It'll be this one with a big gulp cup. If you send me one, I have to look into getting a PO box for that. Ready to Get says, fun fact, my first was supposed to be a triplet, but she absorbed the other two in utero. So I had 2 empty water sacs when she was born. Oh, Oh my God, Winnie the cat. What did you name her? First of all, sorry for your losses, for your other two. But what did you name this warrior who absorbed her siblings? Oh my God, hang on, let me bookmark this so I remember to come back to you because I'm curious about that. Oh my God. Wow. Lisa, I'm studying pop culture when I watch you. I'm studying. I love that. Nice to see you, Misha. Have a great day. So nice of you to pop by. Ramsey says I had my tonsils removed at 21. Now that's painful. I would have killed to have my tonsils removed. Oh, I got my nose done by an ears, nose, throat doctor, and I wanted him to just take my tonsils out when he was there. He said, "No, you can't just ask me to do that last minute." I said, "Oh, damn." Oh, God, I don't want to go under again. So I guess I'm going to have to get stuck with these and having my damn, what do you call these? Not tonsillitis, strep throat every year. The worst.